welcome on today's show my dear friend DJ Williams, who is a professor at Idaho State University. They're nicknamed Dr. Deviant. And DJ has so many areas of interest that just are fascinating. But I wanted to talk with you a little bit today about leisure, DJ. But welcome first to our show, Passionate Living.
Well, thank you, Kat. It is so good to see you and be on a show.
So great to have you here. Talk to me a little bit about leisure, because that's also a topic of yours.
Sure. So a lot of my research, as you mentioned, has to do with deviance in one form or another. And by deviant, I mean things that are different or unusual, atypical. So that can be criminal, can be violence, can be non-criminal, just, really diverse types of behavior, all of those kinds of things. And I do take a very strong leisure science angle to my work. And so leisure is actually a field of study. Some people don't realize that. It has roots in psychology and sociology. And leisure scientists look at what people do for fun. So what's fun, what's enjoyable, what's meaningful, what do they choose to do? Leisure, of course, has connections with health in a lot of cases and well-being.
Our leisure has been affected immensely right now.
Totally.
People, how they derive enjoyment has really shifted this year.
For sure. And with the coronavirus, obviously we have lots of constraints on leisure. So a lot of the things that people normally would do and choose to do are not available. So it's a really interesting time.
Right. Now, what would you suggest in relation to leisure at this time of coronavirus and the importance of it?
I would say that leisure is every bit as important, if not more so, right now. Certainly with social distancing, we're not as socially connected in a lot of ways. So I think leisure is really, really important to give us something positive to look forward to give us positive, enjoyable experiences. There's a literature on coping. So that's one of the benefits of leisure, is it helps us cope with different challenges. So with all of the constraints right now with coronavirus, it's really important to be creative.
Right.
With our leisure. And that's been a bit of a challenge, but it's been kind of fun too. A lot of people have, again, their common leisure interests blocked in one way or another. And sometimes we have to get creative and modify some of those things. One way to think about leisure at this time is to think about our strengths. So I just published a paper kind of looking at leisure at a time of coronavirus. And I used the example of working out, going to the gym. And for a long time, the gym was closed, of course. So I had to start thinking creatively and looking at some of my strengths to try and find a way to continue to strength train. So, when we think about strengths, individual people have strengths. So we have psychological characteristics that are part of our strengths. Physical characteristics can be part of our strengths. We have family and social strengths. We have community strengths. So for example, here in Idaho, we have a lot of beautiful outdoor space. So we don't have to stay indoors during this time like people in maybe Buffalo and New York City and some of the other places do. So that's a geographic strength. So the question is, how do we look at these different multi-level strengths, personal, family, social, geographic, to then come up with creative ways to still engage in leisure? Sure.
So DJ, we talked at one point during this whole thing, and we were both in funks. And you said, I just missed the gym. But you came up with the most creative way to handle your missing of the gym. You were moving your boulders around in your backyard. Show me your guns. I know you got some guns after that. Oh yeah, I knew it.
I've been lifting lots of rocks.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so I really did miss the gym. That's been kind of my leisure staple, one of them,
Right.
for decades. I miss the social aspect of it. I like having, the precise amount of weight that I can lift and all those kinds of things, right? But not going to the gym, it's like, I really need to be able to still lift.
Right.
And I actually hate home workouts. I cannot work out at home. I'm not motivated. It's not the same.
Right.
And in my backyard, I have a little divider between my back lawn and kind of the rest of the backyard of rocks. And I looked at those. I didn't want to lift them because I hate working out at home.
Right.
But then thinking about my strengths, I love hiking and I love being outdoors. And so not too far from my house, it's a mesa. It's kind of out in the middle of the foothills. And there are all these boulders of all different shapes and sizes. And so I could take my hiking love and then go out and lift these rocks in all different ways and get creative. And so that's what I did. And I really loved it. It was really fun.
DJ, you're also part of an organization in Los Angeles, the Center for Positive Sexuality.
Yes.
What is that about? Can you tell me a little bit about the organization?
Well, the Center for Positive Sexuality, it's a 501c3 nonprofit. And we have basically how we view sexuality in Western society, and especially in the United States, is very sex negative. So historically, we focus on the risks of sex, the problems. In some ways, sex is viewed as kind of adversarial. We don't talk openly about it. We don't educate very well. And so fairly recently, scholars have realized that, wait a minute, we have all these cultural biases and assumptions. So sure, there are risks and potential problems and those kinds of things, but sex has benefits. Sex can be leisure. Sex can be fun. It has health benefits.
Very healthy for you, yes.
Absolutely. And it's funny because it's taken researchers a long time to kind of see this and even ask those questions. So we look at the positive sides, we acknowledge the risks, but we also look at benefits and look at sexual diversity and relationship diversity.
Right.
And essentially, the goal is to help people be happy with who they are in their sexual relationships and their sexuality, whatever that is, whether it's asexual or, queer, whatever. So it's a really fun organization. We do a lot of education. We do a lot of trainings for different groups and organizations. We have a journal, a research journal online, journalofpositivesexuality.org. So it's free. You can type in that address and read our articles, our studies. And it's really taken off. So we have readers in 100 and some odd countries.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh, well, DJ, thank you so much. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for sharing all of your brilliance with us. I really
thank you, Kat.
And I look forward to some of your fun projects in the future, having you on again and talking about those.
I would love that.
That'd be great. Well, much love and thank you.
Thank you. Back at you, Kat.